Armor customization has been a big part of MMOs for a long time. Many of us enjoy dressing up our characters however we prefer, rather than being forced to wear what we have equipped. World of Warcraft is no exception to this, with transmogrification, a very well-liked feature. However, it was not always part of the game. Transmogging was introduced to the game for the first time on the 29th of November in 2011 during the 4.3 Cataclysm patch called Hour of Twilight, and it continued receiving improvements over the course of the upcoming years. In 2016, the Legion pre-patch introduced a wardrobe feature that allowed us to preview, collect and learn armor for our characters, which was a great addition to the transmog system. It received several smaller changes in every expansion, such as changing weapon rules, allowing separate shoulder transmog, allowing us to hide all armor, and being able to learn transmog white and great quality items as well. At the 2025 Gamescom, Blizzard announced Transmog 2.0, a system overhaul for transmog where we are going to transmog gear slots instead of the gear themselves. We'll also be able to buy more outfit slots, and you can set your transmog to change based on what environment you're in automatically. While I'm excited for Transmog 2.0, I can't help but wonder as well, because the quality of new armor has been significantly going down in the past few years. They often come with clipping issues, glitches or crazy bugs, and I feel like it's about time we talk about this. Armor in WoW has never been perfect, and they won't be in any game. Typically, animalistic races suffer from this the most, but also in WoW, gnomes. Take a look at this preset from Wrath of the Lich King Ulduar. The hood and the shoulders clip into each other, and the gloves clip into the shoulders. This set looks like a mess on gnome priests, and it's been like this forever, which is disappointing. But one could argue that when this set was designed, gnome priests didn't exist yet, so this armor wasn't scaled for them ever, really. There is another armor set from Wrath that looks terrible on gnomes though, and that is this warrior set from Wrath PvP. This has a similar issue to the priest set. The head is scaled too big, so it clips into the shoulders quite a bit, although here at least the gloves don't add to it. Gnome warriors existed since vanilla, but technically you could just hide your helmet back then, so it wasn't that big of an issue if this bothered you, and I don't think anyone even really cared back then. Unfortunately, if you're a gnome player, you probably got used to by now to the clipping issues, as this will be always a problem for them because of how the race is designed. Any shoulder pads that have any vertical elements like spikes for example, will most definitely clip into helmets. Speaking of designs, the worst race ever created in WoW, the Mecha-gnomes or diaper babies as many like to call them, have clipping issues on steroids. Not only you'll have the same shoulder and helmet issues like a regular gnome, you also can't wear coats at all. Take a look at the Dark Fuse lowdown coat on a Mecha-gnome. It just looks straight up broken. There is no belt that can fix this. Here is another example, the Bloodsail Smuggler's long coat, which is from BFA Time Walking Vendor. There is just no coat tail at all. And if that's not bad enough, the shoulders clip through the coat on top. Now you're probably thinking, well, that's gonna be all items that are half robes or coats, but no. Let's take a look at this trading post chest. It clearly goes below the waist and it looks absolutely fine. The shoulders unfortunately clip through here as well, but here is another example. Spite Daughter's shawl, which is part of the set from the cash shop. This is even longer than the Dark Moon chest and yet it works. I feel like if you can make it work for these, why can't you make it work for the others? I understand the long coats use a different model, but it's clearly possible to make these look right. But I guess not that many care, as Mecha-gnomes are one of the least played races in the history of this game, because they are an abomination that needs a complete rework. I'm certain Earthen will overtake them over the years. But enough about gnomes, let's take a look at the usual problem children for a bit, which are the animalistic races such as Tauren, Worgen, Pandoran and sometimes Vulpera. I'm sure everyone is familiar by now that if you play any of these races, you just straight up can't use most of the helmets in the game because they look awful. This problem isn't unique to WoW though, other games struggle with this as well. For example, for many years in Final Fantasy XIV, you just straight up couldn't use helmets on Hrothgar, which I'd say posture-wise are similar to WoW's Worgen. The Char race in Guild Wars 2 are no different. While some of these are just straight up terrible, I think unfortunately most players made peace with the fact that these races will always have clipping issues, especially with helmets or boots. Some are more forgivable than others. These won't be solved anytime soon because armors are designed around human models and all these different races would require a lot of extra work exclusively to make those same helmets work much better, which most companies won't invest in, but more on this later. I wish these would be the biggest transmog issues WoW has, and I'd say for many years these used to be the only problems. However, in the past 5 years especially, the quality assurance on transmog in general for all races feels non-existent. Back in Shadowlands, Undead were given the option to hide their bones, and for quite some time there was a bug where their cloaks had a hole where their spine bone used to be. Or look at this pirate hat, which I think was added during the first Plunderstorm in Dragonflight. It was awfully bugged on this poor gnome. The Dark Moon set I showed you guys earlier, the hat was clipping through their shoulders even on the promotional image. June Trading Post 2025 came with a set where the chest was just missing. It wasn't there. This got fixed pretty quickly at least, but it shouldn't happen in the first place. Here is a monk weapon from the Trading Post that was clipping into all characters, not just certain races. Here is the Fire Plume set, which you can only get from the in-game cash shop. This has been fixed since, but it shouldn't occur on a set we have to literally pay money for. But what if I told you that is worse? The Midnight Pre-Order set chest on a Kultiran female is super broken. Not only is it angled badly, but if you move it will float around the character. You can only get this set by paying at least $70 for the Midnight expansion, and it is still broken to this day. Midnight has been available for pre-order since August. It's outrageous. It doesn't matter that Kultiran female isn't played by many people. If such broken bug on such an expensive transmog slips through, do you think your precious human, Night Elves and Blood Elves will be safe forever from these bugs? They won't be. By the way, funny thing, if you transmog the chest together with the legs or gloves, this bug goes away, but only if you transmog it with those specific items. The shoulders or hat doesn't solve it, and neither does using the red legs or gloves even though they are the same model. The red chest is also bugged in the same manner. Also, it looks already bugged in the preview, so who in their right mind would want to transmog this with anything if they saw it's broken in the preview? Kultiran female has another chest bug that is also still in the game, unfixed. These plate chests from Koresh are bugged in the exact same way as the pre-order chests, as I assume they share the same model, and while I can't try it out, I'm certain it would also float around the character while moving. How do these issues keep happening? Apart from the lack of quality assurance, another reason could be AI. In an interview with IGN, John Haidt, who at the time used to work for Blizzard, revealed that the WoW team has been using AI to retrofit armor that's been designed for humans because it takes a lot of time for artists to do this manually for every race individually. They claimed that it's been working out really well, but I'd beg to differ. Clipping issues have been always part of the game, but never to this extent. I don't remember having clipping issues and armor bugs this often before Shadowlands. Now it feels like every time we get new sets or items, they always come with bugs for some races or all of them, and this is not something we should just accept. It is very clear that these don't get tested by anyone afterwards. Humans aren't immune to clipping issues or bugs, but it happens to them a lot less than any other race. Blood Elves are apparently the most played race currently according to data for Azeroth. Even on them, these played shoes that are part of the Season 3 War Within Paladin tier set are oversized. They don't even attach to the legs properly, and you can even see a small gap between the leg and the plate. The cloak is also clipping in and out of the set. My main goal with this video isn't really to bash on Blizzard. I just want to call them out to do better. Some of these bugs and clipping issues are terribly obvious, and honestly with every new transmog added to the game, there is something wrong, and if they are on lesser played races, they go unreported and unfixed for too long. As a paying customer, this level of quality is unacceptable. I also imagine unless there is a big community outrage, these bugs are not fixed very quickly, because every patch nowadays comes with a lot of game-breaking bugs. Those will need a lot more attention, but in this video I just wanted to focus on transmog-related issues specifically, as I'm very passionate about it, and I will continue making videos related to transmog amongst other topics, but I can't deny that over the past 5 years it feels like a lot less care went into the final product. I don't know the exact process of creating armor in WoW, but Blizzard, please check on these armors before you release them. And anyone watching this, please share your thoughts in the comments, and any observations you had with transmog quality. I would urge you to keep it respectful and constructive. It probably won't happen, but in an ideal world, I would like this video to reach Blizzard employees, especially the artists who work on these armor sets. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'm still excited for Transmog 2.0, but Blizzard really needs to step it up. My name is Saluun, and I thank you all very much for watching. Please share this video around, give it a like and subscribe for more WoW related videos. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye!